Okay, this is module number 2 of the Massive List Building course. Today we're going to talk about starting from scratch. Where does one begin? This course will actually take you from step 1 all the way to the final step of actually having your website running, rocking and rolling with emails, email correspondence, squeeze page, everything. So this module we're going to talk about, just like I said at the beginning, where do you start? The first place to start is with a website. That's what you absolutely need to start any online business. Now you're going to hear other gurus, top secret gurus or whatever. They're going to tell you you don't need a website, you don't need an email address, you don't need you don't need to know how to do any type of graphics, you don't need to know any programming, all this kind of stuff. And I'm here to say that most of that is not true. It is true that you don't need to have a bachelor's degree in graphic design or anything like that, but you do need to have a basic understanding of how the internet works, a basic understanding of HTML, how to navigate your way through your emails, how to create an email account, all that kind of stuff. So you need to have a little bit of a grasp. It's not just going to be like push this button, boom, everything's going to happen for you. So I hope that makes sense. And they tell you you're going to make thousands of dollars overnight just by doing this one thing. You don't need to know any website. You don't need You don't need to know how to design a website, any of that kind of stuff. Just run away from all that stuff. You do need to have a bit of a grasp. So having said that, where do you begin? You begin with the website. So let's just have a look at some of the hosting options out there. So the first place that I used a long time ago was a little place called register.com. So you can actually buy a domain name from these guys at register.com. It takes about 5 minutes to actually open up a account, because you can't buy a domain straight away. Like if you do a quote here, like let's just say Shane's List Building 101. Okay, just for example. Takes a second here. Okay, it tells you it's available, but what you have to do is you have to register so that you can actually create an account, and then you can add it to your shopping cart, and then you can make a payment. It's not a big deal typically. Their domain is $5, so that's pretty straightforward. It's actually a pretty decent company. Some of their templates are pretty basic, so they don't officially have a cPanel like other companies do. But if you're looking for a cheap domain, this is one of the cheapest domains to buy. You can buy, like for example, Shane's List Building 101.com. That'll be $5, so that's pretty good. That's cheaper than any of the other web hosting companies. So anyways, but I don't like using them. I prefer another company, which I will talk about in a few minutes. But let's just go to another one, which is another cheap one. It's called 1-on-1. They kind of have a cool billing system. If you want to try their hosting service, you can actually try for $1. You can actually try their system out, and then you can also buy a domain name if you like as well from them. They do everything. Again, I tried it. Not too bad. Templates are pretty basic. You can see it's $7.99 for a .com address, 99 cents for a year for info, $5.99 if you're from Canada. So, yeah, that's 1-in-1 hosting. You can use those guys. The other one is, which I used to use quite a bit, is, we'll go to them, Fat Cow. Fatcow.com. These guys are kind of cool because uh, when you they have a pretty good referral program. So when you refer somebody to use their program, they can give you a credit as well. I believe it's $10. Or if you write something nice about their website, for example, you bought a domain and everything seemed to be pretty straightforward, you can actually get $10 deposited right into your PayPal account. Just one time, there you go. Thanks for joining us, blah blah blah. So theoretically, you'd get a domain for free from these guys, your first one. So they're pretty good. It's pretty cool. You just have to write a little review about their website, and you basically get a free domain. So that's cool. Another place that I use is, let's just back up a bit. I got lots of spam in here. Okay, let's go. Sorry about the sound effects. GoDaddy. Used to use GoDaddy quite a bit. They have a pretty good support structure as well. So if you need them to answer any questions, what I liked about them is they also had stuff going on for Canada. So you could buy a .ca address, .com for a reasonable price as well. Pretty cheap, $7.99 I believe it is. So I liked it. The thing that I didn't like is going into their back office, their back panel. Basically, when you log in, I would always get lost in their navigation. So, yeah, what I would end up doing is I would buy a domain from GoDaddy, and then I would port it over to these guys. HostGator. I love these guys. I think out of all the services out there, I love HostGator, and I would strongly encourage anyone that's just starting out. I would strongly encourage you to go to HostGator, try them out, buy your domain from here, and then try their web hosting. And I'll show you what I use here. I use their baby plan right here. $6.36 a month if you sign up for a full year. If it's monthly, it's about $10 a month, which is what I pay. But the nice thing about it is you get unlimited domains, unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, ton of email addresses if you use it, although I don't suggest that you use their email addresses just because I believe you should always use a Gmail account. Some people would say, well, it looks more professional if you have a website address like Shane's List Building 101 or Shane at Shane's List Building 101.com. But if you ever decided not to use that hosting provider, then your email addresses become dead in the water. So I like using a Gmail account because it's forever. And I use my personal one for a lot of my logging in information. I'll use my Gmail to have correspondence with people one-on-one, that kind of thing. So if you need to get a hold of me, having said that, you can get a hold of me at shanelandstrom@gmail.com. So that's the easiest way to get a hold of me. But yeah, where was I? Okay, the baby plan. You could go with the hatchling plan. You get one domain, but really because I buy a lot of domains, I just keep adding these to the plan. You pay $10 a month. For every domain that you buy, it's $15 for the year. A little bit pricey, but it's so straightforward once you buy it. And how I do it is I use live chat. I actually just get them. So I'll look up a domain, and then I'll purchase it through live chat. So I'll just, while I'm doing other things, I'll just put them on the line, um, text them and say, here's the domain I want, please submit a ticket. Then they'll send it to my back office, or my through my cPanel where all my billing information is. They'll submit a ticket for me, and then a few minutes later, or maybe an hour later, or whatever, I'll just pay it through my PayPal, and boom, it's done. And usually within 24 to 48 hours, your domain site is active. I've had it ready to go in as little as under 2 hours. So um, that would be my suggestion, is to use HostGator. And again, there are some coupons that you can get for, you can get a huge discount on some domains if you submit certain words like Gator or whatever, that kind of stuff. You can actually knock off the price, 20% off and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, um, that's it for hosting. To get all set up, I would suggest that you get a hosting provider, use HostGator, get it all set up, buy your domain, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll go into module 3 so that I can actually show you how you would actually set up your website. Alright, so on to module 3. Thanks a lot.